What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here in this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys, another town hall in the books. This one was a pretty big one, or at least there was a major announcement, which we are going to dive right into. But once again, for folks who might be new to the channel or new to the series, this is not a summary of the town hall. Every week or whenever there's a town hall or town square, I just like to give the five biggest things, the five biggest takeaways or things that stuck out to me the most that I thought were worth sharing with you. But there are other fantastic content creators, both written and video, that puts together full summaries, including a summary from the team itself, which I'm not even going to reference here. So let's just go ahead and dive right in. Obviously, the big announcement is Land 1.5 releasing in just a little bit over a week on November 14th, 2023. So this is the date that I kind of put out there as one of the potential dates I saw. Either this date or December 13th, or sorry, December 12th were kind of the two ones that I was eyeing, but December 12th just felt too close to the holidays and too close to the Rebellion release. So with Land ready to go, or so it seems, this is the date we're going for. And I gotta say, guys, I am so pumped for Rebellion that Land had just become an afterthought. Yet here we are, we're going to get Land as kind of like an appetizer to Rebellion, and it's going to be a hell of an appetizer. I'll tell you guys that. So not much else in terms of like information. Obviously, you know, Farpatron's been working on it, and the team's been rallying around this for the last couple of months. So big shout out to them for finally getting it to a point where they feel like it is release ready. I know many folks are getting their DEC, their cards, their land plots, everything ready to go. But that is not all regarding Land. It sounds like the 2.0 white paper might be out by the end of the month. And Matt did say that this is going to be more of a draft, not a final version. And I think that this is important because when you think back to the 1.5 white paper, Matt had said that initially that, you know, everything's subject to change. But when he went around making changes, people were like, oh, well, we already made, you know, we bought summoners, or we bought this, or we made decisions based on the white paper. So I like the fact that he's trying to be very clear right now that this is a draft, not a final version. And the reason that it is a draft is because he wants to get community feedback. He wants to have the community provide some insight into what they would like to see, or if there are any issues that maybe, you know, having a community worth of eyes rather than just his and the team's, I think would be helpful. So lots of exciting stuff with Land to expect here in the month of November, of which we are just about a week into so far. So, you know, I got to say, we're about a week away from 1.5 actually hitting the game servers, and then hopefully, you know, less than 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks until we get the Land 2.0 white paper, of which we've heard a lot already, but it'll just be good to have a kind of like baseline as we can, not a baseline, but just like a foundation for us to kind of figure out where we want all of our land plots and land buildings and land, I guess, businesses is really what I should call it, our land businesses to go over the next couple of years, or however long it takes to get land out. Okay, so number 2, this was interesting. There was a salt resource confirmed to be added to Land 2.0. Now, this is Matt just throwing a bone to the community, a little bit of a wink or Easter egg here. Salt is going to be something, he wanted it to be, it was kind of funny because he's like, I thought it'd be great if like we put, you know, a salt resource in there, and then we said like, you know, some utility is going to come to it, and we just kept on saying that, and then it never actually arrived. I thought that would have been funny, but I can understand, you know, people are already frustrated enough with the game. So I'm glad he didn't take that route. What it does sound like Salt will be able to do is give a bonus on item and spell cards when you mint them, similar to how you can use potions with your, you know, any kind of pack openings. So you'll be able to use pack openings when you mint your item and spell cards, right, in order to get hopefully a legendary, or hopefully a, what's that called, gold foil, but you'll have to mix it in with the salt to get that bonus. So I'm not sure how all that's going to work. Obviously, 2.0 is way down the line, and items and spells are even further down, right? I think items and spells are either 3.0 or 4.0, so it's going to be a while until we have that, but I thought this was just a fun little tidbit to show, you know, Matt's just trying to interact with the community and give us some fun things to help us through, you know, the bear market. Okay, number 3, it does sound as though there will be a proposal for Rebellion packs in reward chests coming, and maybe not just one proposal, but several proposals. And the reason for this, I thought it was really great that Matt took the feedback from that question in the town square last week. And, his approach, at least this week, was this is the first time that the DAO is really in charge of what happens with the rebellion packs. So while the team was assuming they were just going to do what they always do, which is put reward packs in chests, maybe they don't. Maybe we have a more thoughtful conversation about how we do this. And the fact that Claiborne, right, is now in the DAO kind of community manager position, he and Matt have been talking and trying to draft up some different ideas, because this should really come down to a community vote. And actually, I shouldn't even say community vote. This should come down to an SPS stakers vote, right? If you have SPS, if you own SPS, you have a say in what the DAO decides to do. And the DAO does have control, right, in conjunction with the team, does have control of what we do with these rebellion packs. So, I felt very strongly about the packs not being included in reward chests. Let me put it this way. I came off probably pretty strongly about that, saying that I think it would be super beneficial if they weren't. I'm kind of on the fence, to be honest with you. I can see the value to both sides, and I know that I probably overestimated the amount of bot accounts, as some people had reached out to me and were letting me know. So again, I'm curious to see what the different ideas will be out there. Like, I don't know that I would be in favor of it only being available in Modern or something like that. But at this point in time, I am just appreciative of the fact that the team is really trying to take a lot of the community feedback in for these decisions. And so it sounds like we're going to get some proposals. And keep in mind, we're like only 4 weeks away from the rebellion launch. So I would assume they would want to have all this stuff buttoned up by then. And, these proposals take 2 weeks. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see the proposals come in relatively soon. Okay, number 4. Now, this was a bit of an interesting issue, because I had actually brought this up as one of my takeaways from a town hall, I don't know, months ago. But Aggie had mentioned that, they were a little concerned about the regulatory issues of running liquidity pools or automated market makers in the game itself, simply because, the game, or the Splinterlands Steam Monsters, is based in the US, and the SEC is a little aggressive when it comes to all these things. Matt took a little bit of a different approach, which was surprising and I'll say maybe even refreshing in some instances. So he was saying that, everything that they're doing with Splinterlands is kind of like on the fence, on the border of like what the SEC would deem a security. I mean, at this point, right, we're so heavy into crypto and DeFi and all these things that would probably be red flags for, a lot of the regulations. So adding market makers is not going to do much, in Matt's opinion. He wants to make the best possible product, and that will include having all of these different automated market makers, these liquidity pools for like the 50 plus different resources for land, actually in game, rather than trying to do it all weird and off game. So, for example, I don't know where Hive Engine is incorporated, right? But Hive Engine is kind of like a decentralized exchange, even though it's kind of really more so centralized. But for the most part, it's like a decentralized exchange. We know who we know who runs it, which is Aggie, but I don't know where it's incorporated or where it's set up. So you could always look at it as like, well, maybe they could have had all the market makers on something like Hive Engine, or even like put it out to PancakeSwap or Ethereum or a BNB chain or ETH chain, but Matt wants to have in game. I think that makes the most sense. And he even mentioned that the actual resources would never leave the game. There's no reason for them to be bridged either to Hive Engine or to any other chain, ETH or BNB or even Solana or Matic in the future. If we end up bridging to those chains, they should all just be in game. And if you want to pull out the value, you can just trade it for DEC. And then DEC is bridged to Hive Engine, Ethereum, and Binance, I should say the BNB chain. So I thought that was a nice bit of clarity on his perspective, because this is something that was a little bit of a concern for me after hearing Aggie say that he was concerned about it and that they were looking through. But, they got a decent legal team, or at least I hope they got a decent legal team that's talking through these things. Obviously, crypto is becoming a much bigger part of the culture. The regulatory issues are not by any means clear yet, but we are starting to get some clarity. And in a way, the SEC keeps losing a lot of these court cases. So I'm not saying that, this is something that the SEC would come down hard on for Splinterlands and we would win or lose. I'm just appreciating the fact that Matt wants to just take this thing head on. Like, this is going to be a DeFi game, right? It's going to be very much a Web3 game. And we're not going to shy away from that. So, for better or for worse, we'll see what happens. Okay, last one, then I do have some bonus items as well. But I asked Matt actually during the town hall how many vouchers are actually in circulation, because it's very difficult to find out how many we actually have, considering they bridged it to the SPS chain now and then added that voucher G token, which is not a new token, but it just signifies when a voucher is actually in game versus on the SPS chain or on Hive Engine or something like that. So Matt said there's 10 million vouchers, which is significantly lower than I would have expected, because when you think about the fact that 10 million vouchers is like, only 40% of what we've minted all time, right? Which is like over 25, 26 million. I'm just genuinely shocked at that, because I'm looking at it, I'm saying, okay, well, if we sold 2 million packs, that would eat up vouchers right away. Now, obviously, we have not sold that many packs, but there's still 200,000 packs for the presale that may move and could start to eat into that. Then, of course, we're going to have the airdrop conflicts and the battle wagons that'll start sometime in December. And then, of course, the conflicts, you'll be able to burn vouchers for that as well. And, Matt even mentioned wanting to find more utility for vouchers on land as well. So I don't know how all this is going to play out, but I'm actually really happy to see and hear that the voucher, circulating supply is significantly lower than I expected. Now, that doesn't change the fact that we're still printing 40,000 a day, which is absolutely nuts. And when you extrapolate that over an entire year, we print about 14.6 million per year. So by this time, 2024, we would have added another 14.6 million, and we'll have to find different sinks for them. But the fact that there's only 10 million means that we don't have as much of a backlog. And if things do start to pick up, right? If we, for example, sell more than 2 million packs over the next couple of months, that could really make vouchers much more scarce. And not just that, right? If there's other utility given to vouchers, not just with Rebellion, right? There's a triple utility with Rebellion. You buy the packs, airdrop conflict wagons, and of course, when you get the airdrops, you can burn vouchers in order to try to get higher chances of a gold foil. But yeah, Matt seems to be very intent on making vouchers scarce again. He didn't quite say it that way, although he did say that in the past. But at this point, I love it, right? Because vouchers should not be looked at as a discount token. They should really be looked at as an access token. And I love the fact that Matt views vouchers as something that is free, right? And we're not talking about the value that is, we're not talking about the value of what they sell for on Hive Engine. What he's thinking is that if you're staking SPS in the game, or if you own a node, you are getting vouchers for free. Therefore, he doesn't really want to consider it when using it for pricing items, right? It should be an access token that should be very scarce, right? And so we've seen an uptick in the amount of vouchers required for each pack, for example, right? With the Chaos set, Chaos and Rift Watchers, it was only 1 voucher, whereas now you need 5 vouchers. And I'm excited to see what other utility will be added in for vouchers over the the next couple of months here. Okay, couple of bonus items. Now, the stream did cut out for a little bit, and Matt got somewhat deep into the Secret of Pretoria Land 2.0 Alpha. People were asking me about this. I'll just tell you right now. It's cool, but like, I don't care. And I don't mean that, I'm not trying to be dismissive. It's just like, give me Land 1.5. Let me sink my teeth into that. And then I'll start to care about Land 2.0, because some of this stuff was not even Land 2.0. Some of this stuff was like Land 3, 4, 5, right? So I just can't even conceptualize that right now. I want to see Land 1.5 come out and actually work, and then we can start to talk about all the different, future phases. The one thing that he did mention about that was, the Secret of Pretoria, a part of that, which will be like the non-player owned land, which I think the team owns some of that. There's going to be some ancient ruins. This is going to be a part of what everybody's going to contribute towards. It's going to be like a big group project. that will require you to stake some SPS towards it. You'll only be able to use like max level units. Again, he was just dropping little hints like that. But something like this, I think we're at least 1 year away from, right? Because this Secret of Praetoria stuff, this is not even like resources. This is beyond that. So right now we need to get to 2.0. Well, we need to get 1.5 out, but then after that we need to get to 2.0 where people can start building buildings, start collecting resources, and then we can get to the ancient ruins and what the Secret of Praetoria actually is as we uncover it over the next couple of years. As Matt has said, this is going to be a long-term type of thing. There was also a great question and then kind of discussion about battle servers and the rewards that could potentially be given to that. This also is very far away. It's a fascinating concept, and if you want to listen to it, it's right at the beginning of the part 2 because the stream cut out, so you can just go listen to the part 2. It was the first question that he answered where people can essentially run servers, right? So we have kind of like a decentralized battle servers if you run battles and the more SPS you stake, for example, you can also start to get or dip into the reward pool, which is kind of what I thought arenas on land 2.0 were supposed to be, but it sounds like we might be moving away from SPS on land once we get to 2.0. So this battle server thing could be interesting. It might come for the existing reward pool. We might add a reward pool for it. But once again, validators are not even close to being live. So this is so far down the road. And also, I don't even know why I said validators. Validators is just for SPS, right? These would be completely different battle servers. And again, it's cool, but it's just so far down the road. And then finally, somebody did ask before the town hall was over, what's going on with Soulkeep? It sounds like there's a plan that Matt has in the works, which is further along than where, the update that he gave last week or the last couple of weeks. So it sounds like he's working on a plan. It doesn't sound like it's going to be happening anytime soon, but at least it is not forgotten. And not that I would think that it's forgotten, but my hope is, and I'm sure this is the team's hope too, right? We're going to be so distracted with land next week, and then we're probably going to be distracted with Rebellion, and hopefully in the background, right, Matt will be working on a solution that will get us Soulkeep sometime. Again, I have no idea when, but it'd be nice if we got it early in Q1 of next year, because I think we'll be good, considering, land is going to be out soon. Rebellion's going to be fun. It's going to be chaos, which is ironic, but it's, that's going to keep us busy, I think, until the end of 2023. So hopefully over the next 2 months here, Matt and the team will be able to figure out how they can get Soulkeep in the works. And that could be one of the major releases that kicks off 2024 in a major way. Because if you know me and you've heard me talk about Soulkeep before, I think tower defense can bring in a ton of people. And if Splinterlands is already in a better place because of the fact that land ate up DEC and pushed, the flywheel, Rebellion ate up DEC and pushed the flywheel, you might have people looking our way. And then, of course, boom, right there, we launch another game. The ecosystem looks super healthy. The Bitcoin halving happens in April, and we all go to the moon. But, that's my bullish take. I'm going to end it there. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I would love to hear what you thought of the town hall, or, if there's anything that I didn't include here that you thought was a bigger takeaway, I would appreciate it. We'll continue the conversation there. I'll catch you all in the next video and see you around the game. Take care.